Since the Video Game Awards, Microsoft has done a fantastic job showing the world the Xbox Series X. But here in the past couple months, it's going downhill a little bit. And with the delay of Halo Infinite, it really does hurt the launch of the Xbox Series X. So I figured I'm going to make a video on what exactly Microsoft can do to make up the lack of first-party exclusives that's going to be on this system, on the Xbox Series X, and to give the fans a little bit more hope when it comes to the brand and whether or not they should invest into the Xbox platform. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content, and you can follow me at Twitter at LordAddictIOP. Without any further ado, let's get on with the video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming out here, coming at you for another video. As you can see in the intro, we're going to be talking about the stuff that I personally, Gaming Addict, feels like Microsoft should do to make up for the fact that Halo Infinite has been delayed outside of the Xbox Series X launch titles, and what Microsoft can do and the moves they can make to give a lot of hope into the Xbox gamer, the casual consumer in general, and to give these consumers enough reasons to own an Xbox Series X. Now, nothing I say is going to make up for the fact that Halo is not there at the launch of the Xbox Series X, but let's go over some of the things that Microsoft can do to make up for the fact that this game was delayed past the launch titles. I'm sure a lot of you know that Microsoft is pushing Game Pass a lot, so I do think this is something that they can do. I don't necessarily know if they're able to do it because it's so close to the launch title for legal reasons, but if I was Microsoft and I'm looking at the lack of Halo at the launch title, I would go to as many as these third-party titles as possible and try to secure as many of these third-party titles that I can to get on Game Pass day one. For instance, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we got the Watch Dogs Legions, we have Cyberpunk. These games are very popular and will really help you push the narrative that this is the place to play these games, but you can't just get these on Game Pass day one. Also, Microsoft, if you do anything remotely to this, you're going to have to make sure that the majority of these games, if not all of these games, perform fantastic on the Xbox Series X. Let's be real here. Microsoft has been very vocal how powerful the Xbox Series X is, but we have seen almost nothing to show that power. So Microsoft, this holiday, you got to make sure these games run the best on the Xbox Series X, and it's got to be a clear difference. I want a Red Dead Redemption 2 moment with every big third-party title going into next year. Now, clearly there is marketing deals that can prevent this. I don't know how these work behind closed doors. So Microsoft, you're going to have to get onto this and do whatever you can to make sure you are the best place to play third-party titles. Microsoft needs to really focus a little bit more when it comes to marketing. They need to make sure they get better marketing deals, and they need to make sure they get timed exclusive deals. I understand they don't want to do this, but when your competition is doing this tenfold, sometimes you're going to have to play their game in order to win the game. I get it. You feel like it's taking away from the consumer on one point, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best by your people. And when I say your people, I mean the Xbox people, the people that are playing your game on the Windows Store. You can't really worry about the competitor as much as people want you to worry about the competitor. I understand this is something that Microsoft probably won't do, but I do think until they break this rule and they start playing aggressive, they have a huge uphill battle. Now, let's say that they don't go out and get timed exclusive, which I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video knows that that is something that they no longer do. So I feel like the next best thing that they can do besides going out and getting straight up timed exclusives is show studio acquisitions. This is by far the thing I feel like they would do before anything else, because they have pointed out in the past that they're still looking for acquisitions. They're still looking to buy these studios. It just has to make sense. They got to slowly grow them and to make sure that the studios that they have currently bought are up and functioning how a studio should function. So in the next 2 months, we can easily have huge acquisitions that pop up on Twitter or pop up on YouTube or some kind of conference that show, look, we understand you guys want more content. Here's more content. We're buying these studios. Clearly, if they currently have any type of project going around, let's say they buy Techland, Dying Light 2 will still be a multi-plat, obviously, but hopefully they can make a deal with whoever is publishing Dying Light 2 and able to get these games games day and day on Game Pass, to show value to what you're getting, to give your audience that hope that, look, if you pick up the Series X, you're gonna have these games day one. You're not gonna have to go out and spend a lot of money getting these games. They will be there, and as long as you're a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you will have access to these games day one, and all you have to do is just go over there to the Xbox or maybe the Windows Store and download them from the app. Obviously, one of the biggest things they can do in this area is buy Warner Brothers. I feel like just buying Warner Brothers by itself would bring a lot of hope into the Xbox fans and consumers all around, because we all know what Warner Brothers is. Maybe not a bunch of the casual people, but when it comes to the hardcore Xbox following, we know they make Batman. We know they make Shadow of Mordor. We know they make the Mortal Kombat franchise. And to have these type of games exclusive, maybe not these type of games because there are licensing issues, but the studios have that talent, and you can bring that talent to the Xbox brand and have them work on games that will help you sell this platform for the next few years to this entire generation. At the end of the day, all this is speculation. They could do all of this, they could do some of this, or they can do none of this. And it would be disappointing if they do nothing to make up the fact that the Halo Infinite is no longer part of that launch title. And I think a lot of people will start to lose trust in Xbox, in Microsoft, and people will start feeling that Microsoft is no longer trying to compete. They're just trying to get an autopilot, get as much money as possible, and just leave the industry in general. And I feel like that is not a message to send your fans. You need to show them that you want to earn that top spot. You don't necessarily have to beat the next person, but you have to show that you want to beat them. You have to show that you will do as much as you can, and you will reward your fans for sticking by you as much as you can from here going forward. And if you choose the Xbox brand, we're going to give you these exclusive experiences, and we're going to give you these best versions of these games that run the best on the Xbox Series X. And I hope they do that. But you know, that's to be seen. We'll have to see what happens this holiday. But tell me what you guys feel like they need to do. And if you was in charge of Microsoft currently right now, and you was in charge of Xbox, what would you do to make up the fact that Halo Infinite has been pushed out of the holiday lineup? And what would you do to compete with the games like Spider-Man, whatever else PlayStation will have on launch? Because I'm curious. Definitely put that in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.